Hey guys, welcome to another episode of SoFLo Sports Show, episode 118. It's your host, 305 Sports Babe, co-host Lou from Dade. We are back in the States. We had a wonderful trip to Buffalo and Niagara Falls and Toronto that we're going to get into. We have a lot to cover tonight, but thanks so much for joining us on our special Friday edition of the Happy Hour Show.
That's right. It's our Happy Hour Friday, Finn's Friday. Trying to get this win. Games this Monday, no game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Will be a long layoff from, of course, their game last Thursday, a week and a day ago. Today, we were obviously there, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk all about that. The Hurricanes have surged all the way to number 2, and I'm wearing my Marlins cap because this is the final weekend of baseball down here in South Florida.
Yes.
But they've been playing great, and we're going to talk about that a little bit as well, along with all the close races that are going to be decided this weekend in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it's ironic to think that we're going into week 4, and this is the second Sunday without Dolphins football. You know, everyone loves Sunday football, right? You just wake up, you have football all day. But as Lou mentioned, Dolphins had the Thursday night game last week, prime time. Then we have another primetime game this Monday. But I'm excited, you know, for this Monday's matchup. It's a must win. I know we said that the last 2 weeks, but like
we really mean it this time.
No, like this time, this is no joke.
Yeah.
Both teams are 0-3. Obviously, you guys know the Dolphins are 0-3. The Jets are also 0-3. So someone's going to be 0-4. Someone's going to be 1-3. Both those records are stinky. But I'd rather be on the 1-3 as opposed to the 0-4.
Yeah, there's a couple teams that are also in that predicament, and we'll get more into that in a second. But guys, again, if you're watching on X, come on over to YouTube, drop a like, and definitely, if you have not done so already, subscribe to the channel. Anyone out there in Bills Mafia tuning in tonight, thank you guys for being very hospitable towards us and all Dolphin fans. So we will touch base on all that. A lot of the myths that are out there about Bills Mafia and Buffalo, we are here to debunk some of that. Some of that we will go on record as saying we'll just say it how it was and how we saw it.
Everyone has different experiences, but you know, ours was amazing, and we're going to get into that. This time of the year, a lot going on, right? So you're getting into the heart of football season, October, which is right around the corner. So a lot of football. Preseason hockey has just started. College basketball is like less than 50 days away. Regular season basketball is coming up. And I don't know where I was going with that, but I wanted to first start off with some bad news, and that is hockey news. Our captain, Alexander Barkov of the Florida Panthers, suffered a terrible injury in practice. And any type of injury is terrible, but in practice. And he needed surgery, and the reports are saying that it's season ending. Like he will not.
Those are rumors. So it's not official yet, but he went down with a knee injury yesterday. He had surgery a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
There's still no word officially, but there are rumors out there that are saying that this could be a season-ending injury, which is devastating because you're the 2-time defending champions.
Yeah.
And make no mistake about it, a lot of great players on this team, but Alexander Barkov is the captain for a reason.
Yeah.
He is the best player on the team. Obviously, Bill Zito did a tremendous job in the offseason keeping Ekblad, keeping Bennett, and bringing back Marchand as well. But as good as Bennett and Marchand specifically were in the playoffs, the best player on the team is Alexander Barkov. So the fact that he could potentially be out for a while now, could be a
there's no timeline for it, but the reports are saying that it's going to be a long time for him to recover from this surgery as well.
Yeah.
So also with that is Matthew Tkachuk, who we know is also not going to be seeing ice time in October. Possibly they're saying maybe not till December as well.
Second half
so
of the year.
December, January, because he throughout last season was injured, and some people knew about it, some people didn't. But Matthew Tkachuk's a dog, and he fought through it. And now and the trainers were like, hey, like you got to get this done. So we are starting our season off without Matthew Tkachuk and Alexander Barkov.
It's a good punch, It
is a good punch.
Obviously, Marchand missed after the trade. He didn't play until just before the playoff last year. And Tkachuk, the same thing. Tkachuk went out during the Four Nations face-off. He sustained an injury there in February, and he didn't come back to the playoffs. It worked out, but you're playing with fire, trying to navigate through the regular season without two of your best players. And again, Barkov is your best player. But look, it starts in 11 days, right?
The home opener's on Tuesday. It's a Tuesday at 5 o'clock. It's crazy.
Yeah, puck drops on
Chicago.
Tuesday at 5 p.m. Against the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
They'll be raising the banner. We'll be there in attendance to see that, so that'll be awesome. And
we have a nice group of people coming with us. We're really excited about that as well. A lot of our friends are coming with us, so it's going to be a really, really good time.
Just check into the room. See everybody in the room, guys.
I know, there's a lot of people.
Happy Friday.
Us. Mike from West Coast, welcome back from your trip. Yes, we're a little still travel lag. You hope we're 0-4. Yeah, we're hoping not 0-4 either. That would be stinky. 1-3 is still stinky, but 0-4 is really stinky. Yeah. Adrian, what's up? Power couple, happy anniversary. Hope you enjoyed your trip. Tough for Barky. Yeah, man. It sucks. Yeah,
that's a tough one.
Crazy Dolphin in the house. Good evening. Everyone coming in. Hit the like. You already know what it is.
Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel.
Show us some love.
Thank you guys for all the anniversary well wishes. We celebrate our 1-year anniversary on Wednesday.
1-year marriage anniversary.
1-year marriage anniversary.
I'm like, give us more credit. We've been together for way more than 1 year.
Yeah, but the first
marriage.
The first one wedding wise is a big deal. So thank you guys for your for all those that responded and showed some love. We appreciate it.
So much love. Russ, Lou and Ash, happy anniversary with your undefeated Eagles. Fun fact, we actually watched part of the Eagles game in Toronto. Yeah, so we were watching your game.
Yeah, we had a great time, and we're gonna talk about Dolphins specifically, the Bills, Buffalo, Bills Mafia, wings, all that stuff. We had a great time. We decided to make it our anniversary trip, so we went out for Thursday Night Football, but we extended our trip by going out to Canada.
We do that usually once a year. We extend one trip more than football just to see the area. Last year we did that in Seattle and Victoria, again, Canada. So we like to just take one Dolphin trip and just give it a few more days and see what's out there.
So we ventured into Canada. We went to Niagara Falls, which is fantastic.
So much fun.
If you have a chance to get out there to Niagara Falls, you definitely need to do so. Seeing the falls, the pictures don't do it justice. And in at night, of course, they light up. There's lighting behind the falls, and it lights up in different colors. If you go through the fall, so summer and into October, they have fireworks.
Well, let's wait to get into that because there's a whole thing we're going to talk about the falls.
All right.
But before we get into the Buffalo talk, there's a really cool thing going on today that started today, the Ryder Cup. Right. I just want to mention because there are a lot of golf fans out there. The Ryder Cup has started today. Shout out to Keegan Bradley, St. John's alum. He is the captain of the Ryder team. Last time I checked, which was just a few minutes ago, we're not doing too great.
I saw that.
I know, but I believe so. Shout out to Keegan and Team USA in the Ryder Cup. We are cheering for you and beat those Europeans. All right, so let's get into it. So we flew out to Buffalo last Wednesday morning, so a little over a week ago.
Yep.
And we had a great time. So we started our trip. Well, Luke kept saying, as soon as I land, I want to eat. I said, oh, you don't say. So we first started at Anchor Bar, and Lou thought, hey, this is one of the anchors of Buffalo. Start there.
The original.
Yeah, like an original Hooters. You want to start at the original,
right?
Which we've also been to, and that was fantastic.
Yeah.
That's in Clearwater. And so we go to Anchor Bar. Lou has wings, and he has the soup. What kind of soup was it?
The chicken wing soup. Never had that before. It was pretty awesome.
I said, babe, how's your soup? Oh, it's excellent. So he's nobbing. And then he does his post. And, Lou likes his post. And you would have thought, like, he posted something really bad about the Dolphins or the Bills because he had so much backlash, and I felt so bad. I'm like, dude, leave my husband alone. They're like, that's, like, the worst place. That's like going to Burger King on vacation. And us or you, being – this is not a wing capital down here. So he thought like, hey, he's doing it right. So then when Lou got discouraged from everybody saying that Anchor Bar was not good, Lou was on a mission to go to other wing places as well.
Hold on. I didn't get discouraged. I'm the one that suggested, and you too said, because you were the one driving, you said, hey, let's go to the original one. So no problem. We went there. It was good. Now, I ended up having other wings per people's suggestions and recommendations, specifically Antoine Staley, who's been on our show before, is a friend of ours, and he, ventures to Buffalo every year while doing his
he
beat
covered
writer.
the Dolphins and he covers the Jets. So
Correct.
Yeah,
so he's very well versed with buffalo wings. He calls himself a chicken wing slut. So he knows his chicken wings, and so him and everybody in Bills Mafia recommended some other ones. But we did start an Anchor Bar, and
it was fun. You had a good time.
No issues. So that was that.
So you did that, and then that night I held a Fins Fan Buffalo Bash, not like a social, but we wanted to call it something cooler. So it's in Buffalo. We had a great turnout. We made baskets. All proceeds went to DCC. We raised over $500. The people that turned out, yes, it was heavily attended by Dolphin fans, but we've also had Bills Mafia show up as well. So it was beautiful because we had both Dolphins and some Bills memorabilia as well. Specifically talking about Richmond Webb and Bruce Smith. So that was at sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, we also live streamed it. So
we did. That was, I don't even know what was said on there.
We cannot do a show on Thursday, just the Wi-Fi. We'll get to that in a second, but we did want to do something. So we went live from our party on on Wednesday. And so we had a lot of people from Bills Mafia come out. I want to highlight Matt, David, and Mark, who were big Bills Mafia, big Bills supporters. So they were there. They got on the live stream and definitely talked up their team. We had some good banter back and forth. It was an awesome time. And as you mentioned, we definitely highlighted the battles between Bruce Smith and Richmond Webb. Everybody who attended the event got these stickers. So we had a whole stack of them here, and this is specifically what the sticker looks like. It has Richmond Webb and Bruce Smith on it, and the bottom, of course, says Richmond Webb for Pro Football Hall of Fame.
That's the whole mission behind what we're doing.
Yep. So everybody got one of this, and then all our baskets also were Bruce Smith and Richmond Webb themed. Yeah. So they either had a player card, a football card from either player. We also had a Hall of Fame postcard bust of Bruce Smith. We had a Frank Gore program.
There was a lot of cool stuff in there. You really had to, actually, I think I have a picture to show you guys of some of the baskets. I do. Here, so this is what Lou's explaining.
Yep.
There's just a lot of stuff. So everyone, I'm really big with like the name tags. That actually goes back to Gary the Mayor, God rest his soul. Whenever he did an event, he always had name tags. So we had name tags you can see, then the stickers, and then all these baskets. So it was a great time. Adrian said the live stream was awesome. Yes, Adrian. So, I set it up, and obviously it runs from my social media, like my X account, and then it runs from here. So I didn't really think like these people could be saying anything and it's coming out from my X, but I'm glad that you said it was awesome because I was kind of like bouncing on the party and I don't know what they could have said.
I rewatched it. There was a lot of, some people, the people gave their opinions. They were cool. There was a lot of, I loved it. There was a lot of people saying their repping their team, whether it was the Bills or the Dolphins.
Here's another picture. So here's some of the winners of the baskets. You can see Dolphin fans, but we also have some Bills fans. So thank you to everyone who came out to the party. It was fantastic, and it was a great time.
It's happy hour, so I'm gonna crack open a beer here.
Go ahead.
Cheers,
it was held at the Draft Room, which is a bar in downtown Buffalo, right on the waterfront. Right behind it, right next to the arena where the Buffalo Sabres, the hockey team, plays. It was a fantastic venue. Fantastic venue. So it was a great time. So thank you to everyone who came out. Then the next day woke up and it was game time. Game time. And so our plan was that we were going to go to one of the Buffalo. Well, first we did a little sightseeing, waterfront and everything. And then Lou was like, hey, I want to go to one of these Buffalo bars called Bar Bill, and let's see what's going on there. Joke was on us because, first of all, we got there at 2, which you thought, okay, the game was at 8:20, 2 o'clock should be fine, and you couldn't even walk into the place. So that was kind of like, hey, let's check it out. And then we ended up going right to the stadium. We went right to Orchard Park. Orchard Park is not in Buffalo. I just want to tell you guys that. It's kind of like Gillette, where people think, okay, it's the New England Patriots, it's Boston. It's not. So it was about 30-minute drive from Buffalo. Yep. 30-minute drive east.
About 35. And that's why we left early. And if you ever make your way out there, you need to leave early. It's one of these places.
Residential.
As you mentioned, like Gillette, it's one way in, one way out.
Yeah.
2 lanes of traffic. There's really not a lot of wiggle room there. And if you end up slacking and end up going like 2-3 hours before the game, you're going to be sitting in a long line of traffic. So you got to get there very early.
Yeah.
Which we did.
So it's like going through like an all-American town, right? You have like these beautiful houses, kind of like a town that I grew up in, like a middle-class, blue-collar. And the difference is like you're going through this town and every house has a Bills flag, American flag. Like it's nice. It was cute to see, right? And you pass a school, and then you get into like still this area with tons of houses, and then you see it. You see Highmark Stadium, and it's a sight to see. And then right next to it, you see the new stadium that's being built. So we got there, I'd say about 3:30, give or take.
Yeah,
about 3:30.
No, a little bit before that. No, it was before.
Was it?
Yeah. The game's 8:15 kickoff. Okay. We got there around 2 o'clock. But yeah, no. As you mentioned, the new stadium is directly across it. It's also a sunken stadium, so it's underneath the ground, which is pretty cool. You're putting this picture up now.
I'm getting there.
So it's definitely an interesting venue. It's an old venue, obviously, and
but it doesn't have that feel, though.
It does not have that feel. You're putting it up now. Is this up?
Which one?
The Fitzmagic.
Okay, yeah. So let's start there.
So this is one of the places. This was Treehouse Bar, and they had a Fitzmagic, a Ryan Fitzpatrick lookalike contest, this guy is not Ryan Fitzpatrick, even though he looks like it. He looks exactly like.
You told me it was Fitz. No, just kidding.
No, but obviously Fitzmagic has played for both the Bills and the Dolphins, had some glorious seasons down here. And, they had a lookalike contest. This was, again, one of the finalists. And we had a great time. This is at the Treehouse Bar. This is about 3 or 4 blocks from the stadium. Yeah. Awesome location. And that was pretty cool. Directly behind that is the Blue House. Wingman, who hosts parties there, his whole entire house is all Bills. Yeah. So the bed has Bills bed sheets, Bills pillows, the toilet, the bathroom, so cool. the hand soap is Bills themed. Everything in the house is Bills themed. It was pretty, nauseating for us as Dolphin fans, but mad respect for the layout of the whole house, which is all Bills all over.
If you are a Bills fan, it's like your fantasy.
Yeah.
It is like everything you could imagine.
That was it. There's also Danny's is another bar.
That was a good one.
Like 5 blocks away from the stadium. Yeah. There's not that many options just because everybody goes there to tailgate.
Yeah.
But Danny's was also a really cool place. Now, I got to tell you, in any of these places could we find Wi-Fi. We wanted to do a live show from the tailgate, but we could not get tailgate at the lot, and we couldn't get tailgate.
It's not even a matter of just Wi-Fi. It's just a matter of cell service because you can use Wi-Fi is just a router. It's cell service because the towers, since you are in the suburbs, towers are limited. Everyone is on their phone, and so you can go to a restaurant and try to get Wi-Fi. That's already spotty, and then you try to go off your phone to do a hotspot, and so no, it was tough. It was tough to do that, so we weren't able to, but we got like a lot of great pictures. So as we started walking, which one are you gonna do?
Yeah, no, just showing this again. Okay. So this is Ashley with the Fitzmagic lookalike guy. It was pretty awesome. And then, so once we get to the lot, we parked at a lot called Hammers. They have plenty of options. You try to you're actually better off parking away from the stadium.
It's way cheaper, too.
It's cheaper,
$20.
But also you get in and out. So it's not like Hard Rock where that orange parking pass.
No, none of that.
By the way, you want to mention?
I look at it. Yeah.
So, it's not like that. There's plenty of options, but the further away you are, the better you are situated because it's going to take you a lot longer than what you're used to at Hard Rock Stadium to get out of that. So, the farther away you are away, the better.
So at this point, we got out of the car, we parked, and we're like walking around. Well, we're actually walking around looking for Wi-Fi or a hotspot. That's not happening. So Lou's walking around with this Charlie Brown backpack, but we're all dolphined out.
Right.
And at this point, I'm thinking, all right, this is the point of the plot where things are going to get rough. This is where Bill's Mafia, we're going to walk around like little dead fish, as they call us, and they're just going to bully us. I could not have been more wrong. I think I had one person maybe say like, oh, Dolphins suck. And I think my response to him was like, I know, because we were going 0-2 that game. Beyond that, everyone was so chill. And we're going to hit on this a little more soon. But so we're out of the car, we're walking. And
before you say that, right when we get there, we parked, we asked the guys because we didn't come prepared. We were going to bounce around. We thought there was going to be bars all over. We asked the guys directly next to us, Bills fans. We said, hey,
cool,
how do we get beers? Or, is there places here where we could purchase beers? And they're like, why would you do that? Just ask us for a beer. We'll give you beers. It's totally cool. I mean, they were, again, very welcoming, hospitable, very nice. Yeah. They pointed out the specific places where we should be going, which we had already gotten that information from other people. But they were beyond cool.
Yeah, no, everyone was just because we've gone to, as you guys know, many away games, and that's not always the situation. I'm not going to call it fan bases, but I'm going to call it fan bases. Like Baltimore is very hostile, and I haven't been to Philly, and I don't plan on going because I heard that's even worse. So no offense to any of those fan bases, but we kind of thought that, and I'm going to be honest, we thought that's kind of how it was going into Buffalo. And you shared that with me, maybe not so public, but we were prepared that they were going to rip us a new one, especially going into that game 0-2. And guys, like, honestly, it was the complete, we didn't have one bad interaction. And we like walked, I think we probably did 20,000 steps that day.
Yeah, we walked a lot. We wanted to take it all in.
Not one person was disrespectful or mean. We met so many people, cool people. We had great conversations with, shared information, social medias with each other. Like, just good times.
Everybody was beyond cool. Now, there are some shady areas that you go further away, specifically with a table.
Not shady in the sense that you think you're going to get hurt. Maybe hurt is going through.
But they do have the table setups where they throw the people through the tables.
Because you say shady, and I think Baltimore, if you go down one street, you're in trouble. So that's not that type of shady.
So yeah, the tables and where they throw people specifically through the tables, you can see that like deeper into the lots. I may or may not have ventured into one of those table setups. I was hoping to win the game, and then I would have posted that interaction, but we did not. So I will save that for another occasion. But yeah, you see those, maybe a little bit more rambunctious fans that have been out drinking all day. But for the most part, everybody was beyond awesome with us. I want to highlight some cool things that we saw. Pinto Ron, it's a guy that's famous for, he cooks on top of his Pinto. He's got an old
bed of his truck.
Old school Pinto car, and he cooks on top of the hood of it, which is pretty awesome. And he's world-renowned famous in the fan base. There's also the ketchup and mustard show where they get high atop a van and they douse somebody with ketchup and mustard. Look at the videos. It's pretty out there and pretty crazy. So that was
I did something crazy. I did post it. I just didn't post it here because my family watches it. There's this area in that lot that Lou was talking where they take a bowling ball, like an actual bowling ball, and they put liquor in the bowling ball, and you you shoot down the bowling ball. So you take this big ball and you shoot it, and then you blow this horn. And Lou was like, "Don't blow the horn," but I was in the moment, so I blew the horn. I did the bowling ball.
And you're supposed to drop the bowling ball.
I dropped that too, yeah. So I was part of one Bill's. It was fun. It was just, they do these cool things. But just a good time, family atmosphere, and it was a blast. So
fantastic. Of course, it was Thursday Night Football. So in the background, you'll see the set where all the guys, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Tony Gonzalez, Carissa Thompson, they're all out there doing their live feed. And then they come in. And there was a big gathering around it. So again, tremendous layout all around the stadiums, plenty of parties, plenty of places to interact with fans, a lot of cool stuff to see. And then we get inside the stadium, and again, unbeknownst to us, there was a hill, or you got to go down because it's a little lower to the ground. So we did that, and we got our first game certificates. I think I have them up here.
Yeah, so that's one thing Lou and I really look forward to, whether we go to first time baseball game at a certain stadium or an arena. Wherever you go, usually there's something that commemorates your first time being there, whether it's a certificate, whether it's a pin. 9 out of 10, sometimes 10 out of 10 stadiums and arenas will have that. So at Highmark Stadium, we went down, and usually it's at guest services. So we went down to guest services, and we said, hey, it's our first time at Highmark Stadium, and they gave us a certificate. And so, but before we even got the certificate, when we went through the gates, we asked one of the guest relations people, like, hey, where do you get it? They actually personally walked us to it. They must have a 5-minute walk to make sure that we got to the area where we were supposed to get that. So that was really, really cool to be literally ushered to the area. All they had to do is say it's in section 113, but they literally walked us to the area to get the certificate. So again, if you go to any stadium, any arena, baseball, it's really big. Football, we've never really had an issue getting as well. This is the one that I got, and Lou's as well. So that was awesome. And we keep these. It has a date and everything. It
says the date on it. And in this case, this was our first and our last ever game at this stadium, because as you may know by now, this is the last year at Highmark Stadium. So at the end of this year, they're going to be moving into the new facility.
Yeah.
And so, that'll take place next year. So that's why we wanted to go up as well. We also got this collectible game pin. So it pretty much has there the Dolphins and the Bills logo.
And every game pretty much has it. So, guys, if you come to Hard Rock Stadium for a Dolphins game, they have these in our gift stores. But the thing is, they go quick. So you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to go get one at the end of the game. No, when you get there, if you want that, you got to go get it. They will. We have had issues trying to get them.
Shout out to Andrew Ayala, our friend Drewski. He was able to get it for us. Actually, he was at the store, the Bills store earlier in the day, and he was able to get them before they sold out. So that was that. For those of you that wonder, I did walk around with my SoFLo hat. No issues. Their retort, of course, is squish the fish. We had some people that were actually throwing goldfish on the floor and then inviting everybody to step on them, hence squish the fish. My take back to them was that we're not fish, we're mammals.
Yes.
But no, again, I was saying SoFLo, they were saying squish the fish. It was all in good fun. Nobody's being hostile or nobody was saying anything personal. It was all in good fun, just some banter back and forth between two passionate fan bases, and it was awesome.
And so just hitting really, really quick on the game. The game was 8 days ago, but that is the most recent Dolphin game. I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't think it was going to be as close as it was, and I'm not the only one saying that. You guys said it as well. You said it's going to be a blowout. We saw how the Bills played week 1 against the Ravens. We know how the Ravens are, so no one really thought that we were going to maybe win this game, and then the majority of us thought that we were going to get blown out. Well, yes, we did not win, but we didn't get blown out. And if anything, after the game, I had a couple Bills fans come up to me and say, thank you for keeping it competitive. And that just goes to show you, like, this game, the Bills didn't just chill on their seat and be like, all right, taking care of business. No, like, this could have went not in their favor, and that would have been very bad for them to lose against a team like us. So it was just a great game. So going into the second half, it was tied.
It was tied at the half.
We had a game.
Dolphins started off with a 7-0 lead. We were in the game. It was tied. Our defense that has been giving up a lot of big plays. Obviously, the Colts scored 33 points on us, and then the Patriots another 30-point performance. The Bills did score as well, but we all thought it was going to be a lot more ugly.
And it's Josh Allen.
A lot more uglier with Josh Allen under center.
Yeah.
Josh Allen was pretty much held in check. He did throw his 3 touchdowns, but he was held to 213 yards passing and just 25 yards rushing. No rushing touchdowns, which is something that he loves to do. So the defense did their job.
So 2 points of this game where it did not go to our favor, and it kind of crushed it for us. It's when Zach Sealer hit the kicker.
He ran into the punter.
He touched the punter. You can't touch them. You got to think of the punter as Jesus, holy grail. That is football 101. And a guy who we all love, right? You don't hear anybody saying anything about Zach Sealer. To make a mistake like that was just gut-wrenching. And then the second thing that sealed the deal, which has been happening every solitary game, is Tua's interception.
Yeah.
So those two things, both of them are very unacceptable. And even you could even say Zach's is more unacceptable because with Tua, we're kind of expecting this week by week because that's what we're seeing. But Zach's was like, shoot. And then when Tua could have, we were still in it at that point, after that interception, that was it.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, I also want to point out something that didn't make it onto TV because I saw the replay several times.
I asked people
after Tyreek Hill scored a touchdown, he came out.
Don't do it, don't. Keep him away.
He threw up the double birds to the fans, which I thought was classless and
we don't like that.
Just a really bad move on his part. And again, Tyreek's under a microscope. I mean, I understand, the fans may something negative to you, but you kind of brought it onto yourself. Yeah. So we didn't like to see that.
We didn't like to see that because he did it right in our section. So I kind of felt like he was doing it to me. And I'm like, bro, I just came half cross country to see you play. You're giving me the bird.
We're Dolphin fans.
But then also, I have to just make a quick mention that Thursday night game was broadcasted by Amazon, which is newer to this whole sport broadcasting bubble here. And then they spent 5 minutes talking about his allegations. Just talk about the game. What if a family is watching the game, just trying to watch some Thursday night football, and you bring up that? That did not need to be brought up then and there either. So those are two just unfortunate things. Again, surrounding Tyreek Hill, so what else is new? That happened. We did not win the game, and unfortunate, but it was not as bad as we thought. So whatever.
No, and look, you mentioned what really. Hey, Joe. Joe's in the house.
Oh, hi,
Non. You mentioned Tua, and unfortunately, this is, like you said, a recurring theme this year. He didn't have a really good game. He did throw the 2 touchdowns. He actually picked up a really big first down, which everybody closed their eyes and said no. But he ran for a first down, which was scary to watch, if you will.
Very
But
much so.
he just threw for 146 yards. Again, the 2 TDs, but the big interception. And going back to, just because we didn't do a show last week, going back to the previous week against New England, where he also threw a big pick late in the game after that. Malik Washington, incredible punt return. And then, of course, they come back right after with a kickoff return. And then Tua's got one more chance to save the day, and he throws a pick. Also, just because we didn't talk about it, he had a pick that was taken off the board because of offsetting penalties. So he really threw 2 interceptions against the Patriots, only one that counted. 2 interceptions against the Colts and a lost fumble. It's just been a really, really bad start for him as the quarterback for the Dolphins. And at 0-3, there is no room for error, no chance that he can go out there and make other mistakes.
Yeah, no. So we'll talk a little bit about this upcoming Monday. One more thing I just want to talk about the game before we put that to rest was where we sat. We had amazing seats. Like we bought those seats the day tickets were released. We bought them through the bells. It was fantastic. We got so lucky with those seats. The stage, the Thursday Night Football stage was like right in front of us. So the people around us were like, yeah, they hope they bring that down, which they did. So we stayed for after the game. Josh Allen came out, which, you know, that was pretty cool to see. Even as a Dolphin fan, seeing Josh Allen.
Squish the fish. I don't know if you can see it there. Probably not. But that's the squish the fish on the ground. And then you mentioned, I'm just going to pull up the, because we didn't get a chance to take a picture of it. But, no, just, yeah. So this is our angle for our seats. And you can see that it's, you see it there? That's the
stage.
Yeah, that's the stage right there for the Thursday Night Football production. So, yeah, it was right in front of us. Great seats.
Yeah. So after the game, everyone, like, this is wherever you go. Thursday night, Sunday night game, everyone, like, races down. They want to be on TV. They want their shot. So we were like, you know what? Let the crowd go. We're going to stay there. We didn't have to move. We were right in our seats. And so the one thing I want to point out was that all of a sudden you hear, take it off. Take it off. And I thought they were talking about Carissa, right? Like, whatever. Or then I'm thinking, then I realized they're not talking about her. Then I'm thinking they're saying to Tony Gonzalez. Then I start chiming. I'm like, dang right, Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez is one of my favorite players growing up. I'm like, take it off. Let's see this. All right, I just got a loss, but let's see Tony. Long story short, the whole crowd for 15 minutes kept chanting to Fitz, take it off, take it off. They were obsessed and wanted to see his chest.
Yes.
And so I don't know if you guys saw it on TV. I don't know if they even showed it, but he would take down like one. I'm not going to do it because obviously whatever. But one button by one button by one button.
Even Josh Allen, who was a guest post game, he started to take a buttons off Fitz. So he's famous for taking his shirt off and running around like a madman, like he did down here in Miami. So that was really funny and cool. Fun. And we were stuck, as you mentioned. Our seats were already there, but we cannot leave because everybody came down there. All the Bills fans and some Dolphin fans stuck around too. To be there. A couple observations though I want to say about the stadium. I like the stadium.
It's fine.
It's the layout. It goes up, but it was very loud. The fans, first, second, or third down, they were loud the whole way.
And they don't sit.
No empty seats. All the seats were filled. There's not a late arriving crowd. There's not people in the concourse during plays. People went in there at halftime, but during the game, everybody's butts in the seats or standing by us. And they were into the game the whole time. Really something impressive to watch. Yeah. I've been to a lot of stadiums. The only other 2 stadiums that I would say that were on the same level crowd-wise in terms of loudness is the Superdome, which was amazing, and Seattle. Seattle was outstanding. And I'm very excited and intrigued to see how that new stadium is going to be because it's completely enclosed and a lot of coverage, so the sound will not travel as far away. But give those fans a lot of credit. Completely awesome about that. And for me, I had also another issue with seeing all the names of yesteryear, if you will. A lot of names, a lot of Hall of Famers up there, a lot of players that caused a lot of damage to the Dolphins in the 90s.
I think your favorite was O.J. Simpson.
Well, that was before.
It was like, there's O.J. I said, no, that's not O.J. No, but I'm like, O.J.'s not there. But
listen, O.J. Simpson being up in the Ring of Honor was a little bit, funny to see. A little bit.
You had the biggest smile on your face after you made me watch a documentary this summer.
A little appalling to see it there, but hey, look, he did a tremendous job on But I'm talking about guys like Jim Kelly, who did play down here at the University of Miami, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Smith, Darryl Talley, Cornelius Bennett, Andre Reed, James Lofton. I mean, some studs in Buffalo over the years that caused, again, a lot of
look who
Dolphin
joined us,
fans.
Joe Miller. Great to have you guys in Buffalo. We had such a blast, Joe. Honestly, we are so grateful, and we'll forever be grateful for the experience that we had.
Absolutely, it was fantastic. And just getting back to it, those you look up to the Ring of Honor, you see all those names, and you can only look up and respect all those great names up there. And even though they hurt us, specifically my childhood, again, those are great players. And when you go there and you see them on the wall, it's a big deal. And I hope all those names get transferred, which I know they will, to the new stadium and displayed appropriately, because they definitely deserve it all. And while we're fighting for Richmond Webb to get into the Hall of Fame, Steve Tasker, a tremendous Buffalo Bills player on special teams specifically, he also deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes. Okay, so before we continue on to the other part of our trip, going north towards Niagara Falls and Toronto, I want Lou to put I want to talk more about the Buffalo thing. Okay, so as we mentioned, Anchor Bar, Lou got torn up about the Anchor Bar. So then Lou was like, we got to try 2 more places. So we went then to Barbill, and then went to Wing Nuts.
Yep.
NUTZ. Wing Nuts.
Barbill, I had some there, and I took some to go. I stuffed it in the Wing Nuts, to go bag. But I couldn't take a picture of them all. But here's a picture for Wing Nuts. I mean, look at those things, and look at that tub of blue cheese. By the way, if you ask for ranch in Buffalo, they'll kick you right out of the bar. They don't do ranch in Buffalo. Got to be blue cheese.
Yeah.
So, but look at that container of blue cheese. It's not a little round circular thing. It looks like a big saucer or something. But look at those wings too. They're big. The sauce on them is amazing.
They do it right.
Hearty. I mean, you're not going to find these wings down here. I love Flanagan's, but this blows Flanagan's or any other wings that I've ever had.
Hooters wings too. You get the Hooters wings.
Yeah. Flanagan's is better than Hooters.
So, Lou, I think you need to tell the people, because we haven't talked about this because we've just been nonstop since we got back a few days ago. And even somebody asked me today what was his favorite, because I can't eat meat. So, Lou, I live vicariously through Lou.
So, we went to 4 places. I wish we had more time.
So what was your favorite,
we went to Anchor Bar, which that's last. The third one, which I actually didn't get the name, was a dive bar that we went to last second. They, was recommended. It was kind of, out of off the beaten path, but that was a good place. That comes in at number 3. I'm going to go with Wing Nuts, number 2.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Barbill, just because, and again, shout out to Antoine Staley, who definitely suggested it. It has the Cajun honey barbecue sauce, which will change your life. Also, I had the beef on weck sandwich.
Oh, you love that.
Look it up. It's called the beef on weck.
W-E-E.
40 different people said that I needed to have some. And a lot of the places, what they'll do is they'll do a combo where they'll give you the beef on weck sandwich and then three or 5 wings, depending on what kind of a combo you get. But tremendous meal. Highly recommended. Beef on weck. Tremendous sandwich.
Yeah. And so when we first got there, like all the places had the beef on weck. And even when we were on the plane going to Buffalo, the Buffalo fans, there's also a lot of Buffalo Bills fans on our plane, ironically, going to Buffalo. They're like, you got to try the sandwich. No one really said the wings. They said the sandwich. So when we went to these places, I said, Luke, get the sandwich. You're like, no, I got to try the wings, And you didn't end up having the sandwich till the last day. And I think you regret that because I think you also should have done a sandwich.
I should have.
I'm really trying to beef them up.
And Adrian says, sounds delicious. Thank you, Adrian. He says that they are. Adrian was in Philly a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure he took in cheesesteaks, and so, when you go to these cities, you have to take advantage. It's like if you come down here, for us, we're not going to eat Cuban sandwiches because we can eat that whenever we want.
Negative.
But, if somebody wants to reach out to us as far as where to go, we'll point you in the right direction.
We're just not going to go there.
And everybody in Buffalo and in Bills Mafia, and again, Antoine Staley, shout out to him again, pointed me in the right direction as to where to get great food in Buffalo, and I'm highly appreciative.
All right, so now we're on Friday, right? So we wake up, game's over, and we start heading north to Canada. And I personally have never driven over international border. So I was like, oh my gosh, what? Like, you see videos about it and stuff. So I was a little intimidated with that. Guys, for us, I don't want to say it could not have been easier, but for us, there was like, no, you hear these lines, it takes hours. 1, 2, 3, we were across Canada. We had a rental car. Then, so from Buffalo to Niagara Falls, it was only about a 35-minute drive. So if you go to Buffalo, you have to try to get to Niagara Falls. You don't have to necessarily go on the Canadian side, especially if you don't have a passport. You're more than okay on the U.S. side. It's a different view, but you can at least see the falls. It is 35 minutes, literally going from like Miami to Fort Lauderdale. So we get to Niagara Falls.
Shout out to Danny Johnson in the room.
Oh, yes, Danny.
Danny, we're going to see you in Charlotte in a couple weeks.
Not a couple weeks, Lou. It's next weekend.
Next weekend. We'll see you.
It's like in a few days.
Yes.
Lou's like so.
Oh, there you see you in Charlotte. There you go. Yes.
Yeah, Lou says in a few weeks. I'm like, it's not this weekend. It is next weekend. Next Saturday, we're going on a plane.
That's right. And
I
we're
almost slipped.
going to be with him in TPP. Richmond Webb is going to be at his event on Saturday. Danny, we got some of these for you. Richmond Webb versus Bruce Smith.
We got some things for you.
We want Richmond Webb into the Hall of Fame, so we're going to give you some of these next week as well, and to everybody in attendance.
Danny and Atlanta as well. He's joining us on our Sensation.
That's right.
So we see a lot of Danny. But yeah, Danny, it's not a few weeks, Louis. We're going to see him in a few days.
2 days.
A few weeks too long. Okay, so we're in Canada at this point. Niagara Falls. We stayed at this amazing hotel called the Marriott on the Falls.
Falls View.
Falls View. Stunning. So we took the Hornblower, which is the ferry. There's two. There's the Hornblower and the Maid of the Mist. Maid of the Mist is the one from the American side. The Hornblower is the one from Canada side. So we took the one from the Canada side. And it takes you through the American Falls and then the Horseshoe Falls, which are on the Canadian side of things. The Horseshoe Falls is way bigger.
Yeah, way bigger, but the American Falls is very nice too. And those are the two main ones that are featured on the boat ride. They get you up close and personal to the falls.
Yeah.
You see the mist, you feel the mist. They give you a poncho. This is us overlooking the boat.
It looks fake. So this looks like a painting. I mean, not us. We look real.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
But that's what you see. We went on it. I don't know if you have a picture of us in the ponchos, but that's the boat that you go on, and it takes you right into the action. Again, I highly, highly recommend it. It's so awesome. And then because of all that water and the sunlight, you will get a rainbow effect. So there will be a rainbow that'll come up, over the boat sometimes and into the fall. And into the sunlight, and it's must see. You got to go check it out. I highly recommend it, and it's great.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And then so we did that. Then another thing that we didn't do. I did. So real quick, Lou does not like heights, and he doesn't like he's scared of that. And I'm the complete opposite in the sense that I have severe claustrophobia. So I can't do anything 4D, 3D simulators. So although we're very similar, we are on the complete opposite. The higher something is, the faster it is, I'm doing it. The more enclosed it is, Lou's doing it. So there was an opportunity to go zip lining across the falls. So you bet Ash did that, right? And I'm like, babe, please do it with me. Even the guys were
no
like,
chance.
So this is just a picture of me prior to zip lining. It was amazing. It was a huge zip line, but Lou stood from the sidelines and did not do it. Highly recommend if you guys are in the area to do that, because I definitely do Maid of the Mist if you're American side, Hornblower, and do the zip lining. Yep. It was fantastic.
Also, and I know you want to talk about this, but in Niagara Falls, again, must see. The falls doesn't do it justice on TV or via picture. You got to see it up close and personal. They have a tour that goes behind the falls. They have whole other experiences there.
There's so much to do there.
A bunch of stuff to do. Highly recommend. This is another area you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. So this area is maybe 30 minutes from Niagara Falls. This is called Niagara on the Lake. And our buddy Kirk and his wife Kathy said, you guys got to go. But a lot of people told us that. Yeah. And we were able to do it on the way back from Canada. It is truly a Hallmark town. It is something like, I've never been to Europe, but I imagine Europe would be like this. Hallmark Europe. Beautiful restaurants, beautiful shops on the lake. If you guys can make it there, please do. We only spent a short amount of time there, but they had horse and carriage rides and just such a fun, beautiful place. So just a little quick stop by. So after that, we end up driving to Toronto. So from Niagara Falls to Toronto, it's only about 80 miles. So you think, okay, maybe an hour. So psych. And people warned us traffic in Toronto was terrible. And I'm like, you know what? I know Miami traffic. I know LA traffic. I know New York traffic. Bro, Toronto traffic is on a different level. They could not have been more right about that. Yeah. So it took us about 2 hours and 45 minutes to drive 80 miles from Niagara Falls to Toronto. On the way, we did stop at a winery. And we'll make this really quick. We got married in Napa last year, so we appreciate wineries. It was like there's a Wayne Gretzky winery in this area. So sure enough, he looked it up. It was like the next exit. It was stunning.
Yeah.
And again, we've been to good wineries in Napa. This one would give Napa a run for its money.
It was incredible. And just the layout of the whole property is amazing. He also has a distillery there for whiskey and bourbon. So that was incredible. And then, so yeah, we went around Lake Ontario into Toronto. We went up the CN Tower, which is actually the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere.
That you can climb up.
10 other buildings and observation points are all in, beyond that. They're in Dubai or China or
Shanghai,
Tokyo.
yeah.
But in the Western Hemisphere, this is the tallest observation point. So that was the from the bottom floor looking up. And this is us all the way on the top. If you see to the lower left-hand corner, you can see the Rogers Center where the Toronto Blue Jays play baseball. That was actually the first ever retractable roof in the history of the world. So it was pretty spectacular seeing this view all the way to the top into that stadium. It looked so far away. The bases looked like little ants.
Little dots.
Incredible. So yeah.
So after CN Tower, the second tallest, sure enough, was Smith. It is Smith Tower in Chicago. We were at the space last year, and that doesn't even crack that list. So at the CN Tower, they had this thing where you can kind of bungee hang over. Obviously, we couldn't do that because Lou said absolutely not. He wouldn't even let me do it. But we did do the CN Tower. It's very, very high up, and you could pay a little more, which we did. I think it was $15 more to go even higher.
$12 more.
$12 more.
But first of all, it's $12 more, but with Canadian U.S. Difference in price points there, we actually made out. It was a lot. The dollar went a lot more further than the Canadian dollar.
It was very strong.
So that was fun to see and fun to see.
It was scary when you got your bills though, and you see these numbers.
But see it afterwards. When you see it afterwards, you see the difference. It actually worked out in our favor. But the CN Tower just dominates the Toronto skyline, and it was cool to get up there and take in that perspective. Toronto is the 5th biggest city in North America after I think it's New York, Chicago, LA, Mexico City, and then Toronto.
Exactly, that is it.
So it's
Joe said there are tons and tons of wineries in Western New York, Ontario, hidden gems of the area. Joe, honestly, I already told Lou next time we go there, I need 2 days. We were driving through that area, and I wanted to pull over. Not that I'm a wino at all, believe it or not, I'm really not. But they were just so beautiful. So 1,000%, it is very, very underappreciated. Underappreciated.
No doubt. And so then Sunday, we ended up, obviously Sunday in America is a national holiday every Sunday because of football. But in Canada, it's all about hockey. Hockey is by far the #1 sport in Canada. It's crazy to say this, but we went to go to a bar to watch some football, and they're showing hockey preseason games. Some of the NFL games were on, but you had to tell the bartender, hey, could you put on this game over on this TV? Because they were showing hockey preseason games.
They love that.
In bars in Toronto, which tells you everything you need to know. So,
but we started off that morning at St. Lawrence Market.
That was cool. But so then, this is where we're going with this. While in Toronto, that is the home of the Hockey Hall of Fame. So we were reunited with our old pal Stanley.
Hey,
the Stanley Cup is in the Hall of Fame of Toronto, a tremendous Hockey Hall of Fame. So much stuff to do there and see. And so this was pretty awesome to see that. They also had a display of the Panthers. Here you see it. So right before you see the Stanley Cup, they have this whole display case commemorating the Panthers championship.
So cool.
And they do this every year. So the Panthers have now had this display leading up to the Stanley Cup twice, 2 years in a row. And this was pretty awesome. It had everything Panthers in there.
No, it was an amazing, amazing museum. Very interactive. They had this thing where your goalie and their shots on goal. We both did. It's terrible at that. Me worse than you. And they had movies there and just so much memorabilia. Some of the original arenas, Madison Square Garden. It was just, if you were a sport fan, hockey doesn't have to be even your favorite sport. If you appreciate sports, you have to get there. Now, I've never been to Cooperstown, and I know that's going to be my heaven, but this was amazing. So, guys, if you are anywhere near it, it is worth it. It is such a beautiful place to see, and us being Panthers fans, we appreciated it so much. We wore our Panther stuff. I had one girl make actually at the winery. She was an Oilers fan, and she was like, your jacket offends me. And I was like, I don't know.
She was joking.
She was joking. And so, and I said, you just can't beat us.
Yeah.
But jokingly. But the Panthers, And no, it was just a fantastic time.
All right,
so,
well, Panthers are starting up. Let's take this back now to football. Let's get this back.
So we played Monday night against the New York Jets here at Hard Rock Stadium. This is the battle of the 0-3s. And the 0-3s is because both of these teams, our team and the New York Jets, we haven't won a game. And we have to win. We have to win.
Yeah.
We have to win.
There's no doubt. It's a must win. A lot of people are calling this the toilet bowl. 2 0-3 teams on Monday Night Football. Luckily for the rest of America, there's another football game on Monday night. So the Bengals and the Broncos are playing. But yeah, 2 0-3 teams is not going to bring the ratings up.
Justin Fields, when I hear the name Justin Fields, it brings me back to when we went to Chicago a few years ago when Justin Fields had the game of the century against the Dolphins, and he just ran.
He set a record that day.
He sure did. And I'm sure hoping his legs aren't the same as what they were in Chicago, because if so, and if our defense does not show up, he's going to be running routes right around us, and that's going to be a problem.
Well, you're not really worried about his legs. You're worried about his head because he is in concussion protocol. He has practiced the last few days. He is training towards playing on Monday night, and it's likely that he will. But, yeah, once he does play, once it's official, they're definitely going to have to take into account that he can definitely run with the football. He doesn't have the best receiving core, as mentioned in our AFC preview show.
Yeah.
And so he could do a lot with his legs, and so the Dolphins have to be worried about that. In terms of the Dolphins' injuries, Storm Duck and Jason Marshall Jr. already banged up secondary. Those two guys may not play on Monday, which is going to make it very, very difficult for the Dolphins to have a positive result in that game.
Anything on Waller?
Waller has practice, and he's by all accounts is going to be able to make his debut on Monday night against the Dolphins, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But yeah, we're going to ask you guys for your prediction, our question of the week. We missed our show last week, so we're going to have 2 questions for you this week. So stay tuned so you can answer that in the chat. But yeah, it's a must-win game.
Yeah, Mike said do or die. You're 1,000% sure, because after this, it's a short week. Then we go to Carolina against the Panthers.
Yeah, and look, the bigger thing here is that, and I mentioned this before week 2, McDaniel is the second longest tenured coach in the division. You got 2 brand new coaches in, Mike Vrabel and now Aaron Glenn with the Jets. He already slipped up and let Mike Vrabel beat him at home, and now you have that second game in New England. He cannot afford to do the same thing here to Aaron Glenn. Lose to a guy that just came in and is implementing his program. So they got to win this game and figure out a way to do it.
You got to win it. I mean, for so many reasons. Yeah. I mean, first of all, for our sanity, there's a lot to discuss about that. So it's a must win.
So we'll get to our predictions in a second. Let's look around the league.
There's a lot of undefeated teams. The one that surprised me the most is the Colts.
We'll mention them. Who are they?
Okay, well, I started to. Colts, Eagles, Chargers, Bills, Bucks, Niners. But I was saying the Colts, I think the Colts are even surprising themselves. That's the one. The Eagles, they were struggling last week, and they came back to win it. So I think their days are numbered. I think that they're going to lose their first one this week. Bucks we're going to see the Bucks in December, so that's concerning that they're already off to a hot start. Hopefully they start to slow up, because December games are always crucial. I know that if we make playoffs or get there. But yeah, there's still plenty of undefeated teams in the league.
Yeah, and I also want to look around the league here and highlight some big games. Of course, you got the Ireland game, so we finally got our first international game in week 4. It's going to be the Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers going at it from Dublin, Ireland. So that'll be fun. It's a 9:30 start on Sunday, so be sure to set your fantasy lineup before that. Then you get a huge game. Ravens and Chiefs both are 1-2, so one of those teams is going to come out of that game at 1-3, and whoever wins Monday night between the Jets and the Dolphins is actually going to have the same record as either the Chiefs or the Ravens, which is crazy to think about.
That would make me feel better. I'm glad you brought up that point. When you put it in perspective, that's Mr. Brightside right there.
Yeah, no, well, don't say Mr. Brightside. I know,
we heard that song. I know.
Yeah, Shout and Mr. Brightside at Buffalo Bills games are a staple.
Stuck in your head.
And it's tough to hear those songs without thinking about Josh Allen throwing or running for a touchdown. And then, of course, the last game is Dallas. They are going to be hosting the Packers, and this is the Micah Parsons Bowl. Micah Parsons
comes back,
making his return to Big D. So that's going to be a crazy game. So that'll be fun.
So many fans are. I mean, even his teammates, he's just so loved. It's like one of those things.
Yep.
So that's going to be interesting to see. I'm sure they're going to do a tribute video for him.
Yeah. No, of course they definitely will.
That'll be a big thing.
Yeah. All right, let's shift gears over to college football.
The Hurricanes are so hot right now. They don't play this week. They're on a bye week. They're the number 2 team in the nation. Like, literally, when they say the U is back, the U is very, very much back. Very, very, very back. We took care of our our friends, not our friends, but we took care of the Gators.
Rivals.
I know. Some say friends because there's so many households in Miami that are divided, right? So we took care of the Gators last week. So that was great.
So we took. I mean, the final score was 26-7, but we were watching this game in Toronto. It was a close game. It was 13-7 heading into the fourth quarter with about 7 minutes to go, and the Canes ended up pulling away. That defense, though, I mean, they only gave them 7 points. The defense, Corey Heatherman, defensive coordinator, has really changed the focus on the defense, and they're playing with pride. They're playing with anger, and they are not allowing teams to march up and down the field on us. And so big credit again to Corey Heatherman, the defensive coordinator.
You love that man. You brought him up in like the show last time.
Yeah.
So our next game, ironically enough, is against truly our enemies. Let's talk enemies. Florida State. The other day, my coworker was like, Ash, have you seen the tickets for the Florida State game? I said, no. So I looked them up. They're going for the game's in Tallahassee, so expensive. And that's going to be a huge, huge game. Tallahassee, they want our heads on a swivel. But that's a huge game. And our fans will travel up there. So it's going to be a very hostile environment, hostile game. They want to beat us. They want to take us. They want to take down the number 2 team in the nation. But that's going to be a really, really, really big game.
Yeah, we're number 2. They're number 8, as you mentioned. And actually, Florida State is in action right now. So Friday Night Football,
Virginia, right?
They are playing the Virginia Cavaliers up in Virginia. Charlottesville, I believe it's called. Yeah, so they are in Charlottesville playing the Cavaliers, and that game just kicked off at 0-0 in the first with Virginia currently with the ball. Florida State was favored by 6.5 in that game. So we'll see. Obviously, as a Canes fan, you would like FSU to win. I mean, you don't want to root for it, but you want to have, them ranked as high as possible. Hey, they're off to a good start. They beat Alabama by 2 touchdowns. So Florida State's going to be a tough team to handle, and we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, no, they're playing up in Virginia. The other Virginia team, obviously, is Blacksburg. I've been to both those cities. Yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful time to play football up there. You get the truly the Friday night feel, the cool weather. So that'll be some great football.
Mighty Mike with the update there. Yes, they are scoreless in the first quarter, so we'll see how that game turns out. Guys, again, like the channel, like tonight's episode, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Come over to YouTube and do that. It will help us a great deal. All right, so before we get to our question of this week, we got 2 questions for you, so stick through it. We're coming with that coming up, but you want to talk baseball really quick?
So, guys, I ride or die for the Marlins. I get so much crap for it. I just love the team. It'll be their Sunday for their last game, and they're not seeing October baseball. It's not happening. It came really close, and especially this week when we kind of took them out 2 weeks ago. There was all these things happened, and they had a shot, but now it's out. But we do have an opportunity to knock out the Mets.
We do.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, and look, they got eliminated last night officially from postseason contention in game 159. Baseball's 162 games, so they went up to the last 3 games of the year before being eliminated. Yeah. A team that a lot of people thought were going to lose 100 games.
We had such an amazing July. I just want to bring that back really quick. Our July baseball was amazing. We had so many. We won so many of those series against good teams.
Yeah.
We showed up. Our young talent, Jacob Marcy, Augustine Ramirez, our future. Please mark my words. Bookmark this. Screenshot it. Our future is bright. There's so much young talent, even in the farm system, that's going to come up. So, guys, unfortunately, Marlins baseball will truly end this Sunday at 3:10 at Lone Depot Park. But next year, I cannot wait to get back there because I truly believe under Peter Bendix, this team is going to be great next year. I really, really, truly believe that.
Yep, and they're playing the Mets this weekend. Yeah. Final homestand, final 3 games of the year.
Yeah.
They're throwing out their best pitchers in efforts to hopefully eliminate the Mets. If we can't go to the playoffs, the next best thing is
take them out
to keep a rival at home as well. So they're playing the Mets 3 games, and you got Sandy going tonight, Yuri Perez tomorrow, and then Edward Cabrera on Sunday. Yeah. So our 3 best pitchers going up against the Mets will be great experience for them going into next year. So that's awesome. Also, some very tight races in baseball going down to these final 3 games. Toronto, the Blue Jays, and the Yankees are tied for first place in the AL East with 3 games to play. The Tigers and the Guardians are tied in the AL Central with 3 games to play. And in the wild card, as mentioned, the Mets are holding on by 1 game with Cincinnati and Arizona Diamondbacks behind them. So the Marlins have a big opportunity here to take the Mets
break
out.
Some hearts in New York.
So we shall see how that goes.
Yes. Okay, so let me
put up our question.
I am. How do I bring it up here first?
All right.
All right, this is like Lou's baby here. You think he's like Regis Philbin here doing his game show?
All right. So this is our question of the week. Again, so far we didn't do one last year, but after the first 2 weeks, no one has more than 1 point. Everybody has 1 or 0. So you have a tremendous opportunity here to get on the board, get a point. As a matter of fact, you can get 2 points if you simply drop in the chat the answers to the following questions, and here they are. Will the Dolphins beat the Jets? Yes or no? That's a simple one. So the first question, will the Dolphins beat the Jets? You'll want to put yes or no. And then the second one is, will the Fins defense force a turnover? The Dolphins defense is the only NFL team to not have a turnover forced on defensive side of the ball. So is this the week it happens? So those are your questions. Will the Dolphins beat the Jets? Yes or no? And will the Fins defense force a turnover? Yes or no? Drop it in the chat what your answer is. I'll get your opinion on it as we wait for some people to put their selections in here. What do you think?
Man, I'm not going to say the Dolphins aren't going to win. Dolphins are going to win. They have to win. They have to win. Dude, there's no other option. They have to win. You have to win. You can't go into Carolina next week 0-4. That's terrible. Yes, the Dolphins will beat the Jets Monday Night Football this Monday at the Hard Rock. Will the Fins defense force a turnover? You'd love to see it, right? Anthony Weaver wasn't too hot with his defense the first 2 weeks. Looked decent last week. All right, so let's continue that. So, yes. So, yes and yes. Yes, yes. That, just like Mike just said, yes, yes. Yes. I'm exactly where you're at.
Well, again, guys, drop it in the chat. If you're watching on X, come on over to YouTube. Drop it in here. You can also voice your opinion after the show. You could drop it in the comment section. Again, make sure you like tonight's episode. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You must be a subscriber to win the prize at the end. Person with the most points will get a nice little
take care of you.
Yeah, nice little prize at the end. We've had some cool prizes in the back, so we'll see. Mike, with an update here, looks like Virginia has scored. So the Seminoles are down right now in that game from Charlottesville. So we shall see. But yeah, I also think the same. I think.
Oh, Adrian, no. That's just an Adrian answer. No. I love him.
Well, Adrian is looking for the defeated season, if we will.
I know, you know.
He doesn't want to win any games to get that number 1 pick. And
you know what our pal thinks.
I don't know that I'm there with him just yet, but if this continues to go downhill, I can't say that I would disagree with him, because what would be the point to keep winning games if you're not going to make the playoffs? So
Adrian's my pal. I agree with a lot of things that man says.
So yes, Adrian is, again, check out the Rainy Day Pod. He does a fantastic job talking all sports.
Yes.
And yes, he is a little bit on the pessimistic side these days, but I can't blame him.
But maybe you're pessimistic, but maybe realistic.
You just nailed it on the head. Sometimes you have to be a realist instead of a pessimist, or yeah. So he's doing the right thing, I think.
PR, pessimistic, realistic.
Yeah, but no, look, I'm going to say that if they cannot beat a New York Jets team that is under operations from a brand new head coach at home on Monday night, they're of course rolling out the rivalry jerseys. This is the season.
We said it against week 1 against Indy, against Daniel Jones. Then week 2 against the Patriots. I mean, we can't keep making excuses. No doubt. You just have to win.
Right.
Whatever way it happens, you win by 1, you win by 51, you win by 71. You have to win this.
Correct. So it's a must win.
I'm not leaving Hard Rock Stadium on Monday with a loss. I don't know what I'll do, but I'm not leaving.
Yeah. And then the other part of it is, look, the Jets offense isn't that great. You got Justin Fields likely to start, but he is coming off a concussion. He doesn't have the best receiving core, doesn't have a great running back. His offensive line is average. So I have a feeling that, yes, on Monday Night Football, the Dolphins will finally get their first turnover. So I say yes and yes. You say yes and yes. Adrian says no and no.
Mike says yes and yes.
Mike says yes and yes. Anybody else out there? Speak now or forever hold your peace. You could either vote here tonight in the next couple seconds, or you could drop it in the chat. In the comment section, after this show is over, and you have a chance to get some points.
Until game time. Don't give me your decision when the game starts. It has to
afterwards.
Be
yes.
Last but not least, Big E bracelets have all gone out, man. When I got back from Canada, I was just... So 50 more went out. So they are all out at this point. So just give it some time. It's taken anywhere between 5 and 15 days. It's going out USPS via stamped. So if you haven't got yours, I would say give it to October 1st. Let us come back from Carolina. If there are any issues, just reach out to me. But thank you all for for continuing to support the Big E Strong bracelets. We have put, all of us collectively, close to $3,000 into his DCC account just by these bracelets. So he is very overwhelmed and appreciative of what you guys have done. I know Mike has bought 2 actually. He ordered one and then he ordered another one. So thank you to everyone who has supported Big E this way as well. Also another DCC. Thank you to our pal, member of our DCC team, Stephen DeFelippes, who donated his orange, because yellow is the peasants like us. The orange parking pass that we raffled off this week, live on YouTube. Dave Moore, who is a great pal of ours, great pal of the tailgate, won it, and he has a great group of our friends as well. Everybody's friends.
Fantastic Four.
That's their name. I couldn't think of the name. I was going to name individually. The Fantastic Four, who won the tailgate. So definitely go see them if you are heading to the game on Monday. They do whiskey tastings.
That's Gloria, that's T, that's Dave, and Ginger. So those are the Fantastic Four. They're very famous at the tailgate, so you'll be able to see them if you're out there. And they got the orange pass for the game. So they're going
to be at East 12. Thanks to their generosity and their luck of winning the pass. So that was awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. So
I think that's it. I think wishing you guys a great weekend. It's Friday, so cheers. Wish you guys a great weekend. Enjoy a lot of football and taking you up to Monday night where the Dolphins are in a do or die position here. We'll see what happens.
For those coming down for the game, I always wish you safe travels coming down to South Florida, wherever you're coming from. We look forward to seeing you at the game.
We will be there.
Always such a great time. And then we're going to see so many of you next week in Carolina. I know that's going to be a huge – I feel bad for those Panthers fans because they have no idea how many Dolphin fans are going to truly take over. So, guys, we look forward to seeing you either this week, next week, or in the future. Thank you so much for tuning into the show tonight. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to us. And until then, fins up. For God's sakes, please win on Monday.
Fins up.
Please.
Big E strong. And we will see you next week previewing that Carolina Panther game and hopefully with a win in the books.
Yes, babe.
All right, guys. Good night. Have a good weekend. Until next time.